So what makes a great solicitor? We all know about the academics, the communication skills and the work ethic. But what makes you thrive when in practice? Commercial awareness is a key requirement for law firms when recruiting. With that in mind, All About Law has quizzed graduate recruiters at some of the top law firms in the world to find out the ins and outs of commercial awareness.
Commercial awareness is so much more than just reading the newspaper. It's about understanding the implications of what is going on in the world, politically, economically, socially, and how that impacts our clients and therefore our business.
Awareness to me is what you've read in the 15 minutes before your interview, whereas a genuine commercial interest is something that's actually quite difficult to fake. If you find that you are really interested in things that are going on in the world around you, whether it's in the political sphere or the economic sphere, then the chances are that you have got that genuine commercial interest or sense that we're looking for.
I believe that can only come through your natural ability and your desire to want to understand what's going on in the business world, how that affects companies and how that affects law firms, effectively their clients.
We wouldn't term it as being a focus and a knowledge of individual specialised products. That's our job, to train you when you're here. We will tell you what a securitisation is, the ins and outs of it. We'll tell you what a Bermudan flip-flop derivative is, which does exist. What's important for us is to see that you have an interest in the business world and how business operates.
It's more a question of an understanding of the types of issues that businesses face and your ability to think laterally around them. To show us that you can think on your feet, you can put yourself in the shoes of the client, and you can think about the sorts of things they'd want to achieve from that deal, and then from that think about the types of legal issues that might flow from it that might involve a firm like ourselves.
One of our trainees gave me a really good example of how she had gone about building up her commercial interest and awareness before an interview. And that was by buddying up with a friend and just choosing one specific story that was in the financial press at that time, and then researching it in as much depth as they both could. They both found that their research took them off on lots of different tangents that opened up new lines of discovery and new interesting things that were going on. And they found that they really managed to get to the heart of the issues that were at play.
You can build your commercial awareness up by a number of different ways. Work experience is one element, because you will get to experience working within a business and you'll get to understand what are the strengths and weaknesses of the business and what is affecting them right now.
So there's a lot of information out there and various articles that will help and give you an understanding of the topics that law firms are considering and impacting them right now. I would also advise not to just focus on the legal sector, but make sure you have an understanding of kind of what's going on in the economy right now.
I think you should try and view commercial awareness like you would an essay. So if you can choose your own essay topics, you can try and find something that's sort of naturally interesting to you, and that will mean it's less of a chore to research. So if you were writing an essay, you wouldn't just take one source and one opinion and go with that. You'd read around the subject, you would look at different sources and discuss and confidently argue your opinion with someone else's. In interviews, we definitely play devil's advocate, so you need to be prepared to do that. Debating is obviously a good way to upskill on these areas, but that can even be just across the dinner table or with your flatmates. It doesn't need to be formally in the university debating society, but I think that is a good way to get confident with business jargon.
Part-time jobs, for example, you'd be surprised how much you can develop in terms of your commercial awareness by working in your local pub, working in a supermarket on the checkout. You're working within a business, so there's the opportunity to see how those businesses are run. You can start to think about things like, well, how would I do things in that situation if I was running this business? Sort of starting to challenge yourself and thinking about things.
Things you've done in terms of your extracurricular life, maybe you're involved with societies that are business related at university, or maybe you've had part-time jobs that are business related, or you've done an internship in a different sector.
You will have more commercial awareness than you think in terms of the things that you've already done, whether that's through work experience, not necessarily legal. It might be a part-time job, it might be a Saturday job, it might be work during university that you do where you have actually acquired some knowledge, whether it's working with clients or customers, with budgets, whatever it might be. You will have to think about the repercussions of what you do and the reasons you're doing them within the wider business context.